I'm helping a company grow, and I'm doing that by helping their CEO build a personal brand to benefit the company. I'm using a lot of Caleb Ralston's frameworks and guides and things that he teaches online and applying it to their business. One of the things that I just had them go through is this Build a Disgustingly Good Personal Brand workbook. And I had them fill it out. I wasn't there for it. I was like, hey, should I come? Do you guys want me to come? I'd be happy to. They're like, no, we got it. They filled it out. I got it back. I was like, oof, they did this wrong. Not good. And I want to tell you guys what they did so that you don't make this mistake, especially if you don't have someone who's like eat, sleep, breathe Caleb Ralston's content and personal branding. And I think I figured out how to explain it in a way that's super clear and will be helpful for you. So this is also an analogy I've heard Caleb Ralston talk about. And I'm going to talk about Nike and Michael Jordan. Now, you as the CEO of your business, let's say Nike, you want to grow the business. You need more people to buy more shoes, more product from Nike. Now, Nike is a massive company who has done incredibly well because they've branded themselves with winners like Michael Jordan. If you're the CEO of a company like Nike, you need to recognize that when you're building a personal brand to bring in customers for your business, you need to be Michael Jordan. You need to be displaying how great you are at the thing that you do to the audience that you're building through your personal brand. I think that something that the people I'm working with got caught up with is that they're trying to appeal to an audience that their business can serve, rather than appealing to an audience that they have expertise and can provide value for. Now let me explain. Nike is a huge company. They have basketball shoes, soccer cleats, running shoes, but they have a personal brand, right? They have Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't know, whoever's like the great long distance runner right now. They have all of these people who have personal brands, they have associations with them. Now, the pitfall that the person I worked with, that they made, is that if they're the Michael Jordan to their business, it's like they're trying to have their personal brand be about basketball, running, and soccer when their only expertise is in basketball. It's like Nike telling Michael Jordan, hey man, I want you to start doing some long distance running campaigns for us. So put on these running shoes and go for a run and talk about like running. When the CEO of a business, even though they might be great at a lot of the services the business provides, it doesn't mean that they should be building a personal brand around it. So Michael Jordan, you, the CEO of your business, you should be making content that frames you and demonstrates your expertise, your lessons, your failures, your successes in the narrow field that you have expertise in. So for the person I'm working with right now, they have a wealth management and tax strategy firm. They're great at the wealth management. But when they're filling out this guide, they're like listing wins of like tax strategy wins that they've had for clients. When I know that this CEO is not a tax strategist, he's not like nerding out on the latest tax law. He has a partner who does that. And so his personal brand should not be listing wins that his company has, even though as a CEO, it does feel like the company's wins are your wins. You can't approach building a personal brand like that. It has to be your specific wins that you worked on. Now, to distinguish your company's wins, or wins that you can maybe associate yourself with your company, is like, hey, I helped grow this company from like X millions of dollars in assets under management to now, X millions of dollars in assets under management. Or, we have 12 employees and all of them are super happy and our employee retention is like 5 years, or things of that nature, where now you're mixing in your wealth strategy expertise, like talking about how you make wealth management simple and stress-free, and your tactics, your tools, your lessons, and how you've done that with now your like business leadership expertise. But you're still not touching tax strategy because you don't do that. You don't actually have expertise in that. Even though your firm does, even though your firm can serve those people, you're building an audience for basketball, not running and basketball and soccer, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's kind of like the distinction, the lesson that I learned so far with this client is to help you understand that you, the CEO, are Michael Jordan. You're really great at one sport, and you don't need to talk about the other sports. And you don't take the company's wins for certain clients as your wins. You can take some of the wins that you've made for the company as a result of your leadership, but it's different. And you have to understand that the content that you're making, the brand that you're building, is not going to fit every single client profile that you have. Your business probably has multiple ideal client profiles for the different services you provide, but you are really only going to or should speak to one ICP, one ideal client, in the beginning of your personal brand. So you're going to talk about wealth strategy. I'm going to talk about business leadership because you want to do wealth management for business owners, and you have, expertise that speaks to that person in an overlapping fashion, which is, my strategy for the guy I'm working for. So those are the lessons I've learned. Thank you, Caleb Ralston, for the work that you were doing. And I think that's all. Peace.